Judy knelt down and wagged her cute, fuzzy, wuzzy little tail. She was getting ready to do her bunny jumps for her Nicky Nick. That fiery foxy lay on his bed, waiting for his cuddly creature. But she didn't jump. Nick waited and waited, but she never popped up. Finally, he looked over the edge of the bed. Carrots? And then up came the little gray ball of fuzz. This definitely startled Nick. He gave Judy a little glare, thinking she was being a sly bunny. "What's the problem, Nick?" Judy asked. He just kept giving that glare. Then Judy sighed. "Yeah, I saw it," she admitted. Nick's face turned from annoyed to confused. "What are you talking about?" Then Judy realized what Nick was making the glare for. She just shrugged. "Nothing." And she cuddled in close to her foxy. But Nick was starting to put it together. "You saw my scout uniform, didn't you?" he asked. Judy's eyes filled up with worry. Nick began to look ashamed. Nick had kept his old Ranger Scout's uniform under his bed for over 20 years now. After he was bullied out by all the prejudiced little brats, he tried to keep it out of sight as much as possible. But he couldn't get rid of it because my mom worked so hard to get me that thing, Nick began. She worked 50 hours all summer. And then I just threw it away. "You didn't throw it away, Nick," Judy said, bewildered. "Those kids muzzled you." "But I never told her about it," Nick continued. "I thought if I told her, she'd only make me more vulnerable. I thought if I stayed with her, she'd only make me more vulnerable. So I left her. She was the only one who ever cared about me. And I abandoned her. I abandoned her, Judy." For the first time ever, Judy saw her big, strong fox shed tears. With her gentle paws, she wiped them away from his face. Then she gave him a little smile. "Cut yourself some slack, Slick," she reassured. "You've done so much good. You helped me stop the night howlers. You're the first fox cop. You've helped me accomplish so much." Nick still couldn't believe how amazing and kind Judy was. Then he kind of started to chuckle. "Remember what I said?" he asked. "About how if they saw me as deceitful just because I was a fox, then that's what they get? And that I never let them see that they got to me? I never realized how big of a contradiction that was. I was being what they all wanted me to be. Of course they could see they got to me. I spent my whole life trying to get back at them, and I was just stooping at their level. I was obsessing over those who hurt me, and I left behind those who wanted to help me." Once again, Judy placed that comforting paw on Nick's arm. "Nick, let me tell you something," she whispered. "If your mother loves you as much as you say she did, she would forgive you." Nick had never been more full of love in his life. After all the pain he went through, he felt it all coming to an end. He knew Judy was the one for him. He gave her a big, loving kiss, which she gently returned. And as Nick fell asleep with his little sweet bunny in his arms, he dreamt of them together with a certain loving vixen. Nick knew exactly what he was going to do tomorrow.